Imagine you're sitting in a submarine 4,000 feet below the surface. The water outside is pitch black. Your viewport shows nothing but darkness pressing against the glass. Then, suddenly, something massive moves past your lights. Something that shouldn't exist. Something with too many limbs, or glowing eyes, or a body so alien it looks like it came from another planet. These moments happen more often than you'd think. As submarines and remotely operated vehicles dive deeper into the ocean, they're capturing footage of creatures so bizarre, so terrifying, that scientists struggle to explain what they're seeing. Some of these animals have been alive longer than entire civilizations. Others look like they're straight out of a horror movie. And a few? Well, we still don't know what they are. Today, we're counting down 7 of the most terrifying deep-sea creatures ever caught on submarine cameras. Real footage, real creatures, real nightmares from the abyss. Let's dive in. Coming in at number 7, the Siphonophore, we start with something that looks more like a hallucination than a living creature. When this footage first surfaced on YouTube, people thought it was a fishing net drifting through the water. It's not. This incredible organism, captured by research vessel Nautilus in the Gulf of Mexico at about 4,000 feet deep, is called a Siphonophore. It's part of a class of marine animals containing over 175 known species, though this particular one hasn't been fully identified. Here's where it gets weird. A Siphonophore isn't actually a single creature. It's a colonial organism, meaning it's made up of thousands of individual animals called zooids, all connected and working together as one. Each zooid has a specialized function. Some capture prey, some digest food, some handle reproduction, some provide movement. The result looks like a bioluminescent spider web drifting through the darkness, pulsing with light, stretching up to 120 feet long in some species. Some Siphonophores are among the longest organisms on Earth, longer than blue whales. What makes this footage particularly unsettling is how it moves. It doesn't swim like a fish or pulse like a jellyfish. It sort of undulates, like a living curtain of light drifting through space. It's mesmerizing and deeply disturbing at the same time. And here's the terrifying part. We've barely studied these things. Most of what we know comes from brief encounters like this one. They live so deep and are so fragile that bringing them to the surface causes them to disintegrate. What you're seeing in this footage might be a species science has never officially documented. The ocean is full of colonial organisms, but none quite as alien-looking as the Siphonophore. At number 6, the sperm whale versus giant squid battle aftermath. Most people know that sperm whales and giant squids are locked in an eternal battle in the deep ocean, but footage of this conflict is almost non-existent. Until now. This incredible video captured by researchers from EcoWatch Discovery Mauritius shows a pod of sperm whales returning from a hunt, but one whale has something disturbing in its mouth, the remains of a giant squid, its tentacles still wrapped around the whale's massive head. Giant squids are among the ocean's apex predators, reaching lengths of up to 43 feet with eyes the size of dinner plates. Their tentacles are covered with hundreds of suction cups lined with serrated rings that tear flesh on contact. These aren't gentle creatures. They're aggressive, intelligent hunters. Sperm whales dive deeper than any other mammal, sometimes reaching depths of 7,000 feet or more, specifically to hunt giant squids. The battles that occur in the pitch-black depths are legendary. Scientists have found whale bodies covered in circular scars from squid suction cups, some scars measuring over a foot in diameter, suggesting squids far larger than the 43-foot specimens we've documented. What this footage reveals is the aftermath. A sperm whale, weighing up to 45 tons, with a massive squid carcass in its mouth, tentacles still wrapped around it like the squid was fighting until its last moment. It's rare to see giant squids at all. They weren't even photographed alive in their natural habitat until 2004. To see one dead in the mouth of its greatest predator? That's a once-in-a-lifetime shot. The ocean's greatest battles happen in darkness, pressure, and silence, and the whales are winning. Coming in at number 5, the Greenland Shark. This footage, shared by Deep Sea Oddities, shows something that looks like a zombie shark. Swimming slowly toward the camera at about a mile deep in the Mariana Trench, this creature appears almost ghostly, its movement sluggish, its eyes milky white, its body covered in scars and parasites. This is a Greenland shark, and it's one of the most fascinating and disturbing creatures in the ocean. First, the basics. Greenland sharks are massive, growing up to 21 feet long and weighing over 2,200 pounds. They're apex predators, hunting fish, seals, and pretty much anything they can catch. They live in some of the coldest, deepest waters on Earth, typically between 650 and 3,000 feet down, sometimes even deeper. But here's the part that blows my mind. Greenland sharks can live for 250 to 500 years. Let me repeat that. 500 years. That means there could be a Greenland shark swimming in the Arctic Ocean right now that was alive before Christopher Columbus reached America, before the printing press was invented, before the Renaissance. Some of these sharks were born during the Ming Dynasty in China. They grow incredibly slowly, only about a centimeter per year, which is partly why they live so long. Their metabolism is extremely slow due to the freezing temperatures they inhabit. They move like they're in slow motion, drifting through the deep like ghosts. Most Greenland sharks are partially or completely blind, not because of injury, but because of parasites. A specific copod attaches to their eyes and permanently damages their vision. But in the pitch-black depths where they live, sight isn't as important. They hunt using smell and electroreception. The footage shows one swimming up to a baited cage, and the size is staggering. These things are enormous, and the way they move, slow, deliberate, almost undead-looking, makes them genuinely creepy. Imagine swimming in the Arctic and encountering a creature that's older than your country. Breaking into number 4, the USO, unidentified submerged object. Now we enter truly mysterious territory. This footage, captured by a remotely operated vehicle in 2002 off the coast of Sanriku, Japan, shows something that science cannot explain. Watch closely. Something shoots past the camera at incredible speed. It's not a fish. It's not debris. It's something else entirely. The object is disc-shaped, incredibly bright, almost glowing, and moving far too fast for the camera to capture any detail. It passes through the frame in less than a second at a depth of 4,221 feet or about 1,381 feet. Could this just be a ray of light? Unlikely. According to NOAA, light may be detected as far as 1,000 meters down, but there's rarely any significant light beyond 200 meters. This object was deeper than that, and it appears solid, with defined edges and movement that suggests propulsion. This is what researchers call a USO, an unidentified submerged object. It's the underwater equivalent of a UFO, and there are hundreds of documented cases. Some theories suggest it's a rare deep-sea fish moving at high speed, but no known fish moves that fast at that depth. Others suggest it could be some kind of bioluminescent organism we haven't discovered yet. Or maybe it's something technological, a secret military drone or submarine. The truth is, we don't know, and that's what makes this footage so unsettling. In an age where we think we've documented everything, mysteries like this still exist. Whatever this object was, it shouldn't have been down there, and yet it was. Before we continue to our top 3 most terrifying creatures ever caught on submarine cameras, if you're fascinated by the unexplained mysteries lurking in the deep ocean and want to see more real footage of things that shouldn't exist, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. The next 3 creatures are even more bizarre, and one of them tried to attack the submarine filming it. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Landing at number 3, the Bluntnose Sixgill Shark. This is a creature from another time, not metaphorically, literally. The Bluntnose Sixgill Shark is an ancient species that's been around longer than most dinosaurs, surviving every mass extinction event for the past 200 million years. In 2019, Ocean X, in partnership with Cape Eleuthera Institute, made history by tagging one of these sharks from a submarine for the first time. The footage is absolutely incredible. The Bluntnose Sixgill Shark can grow up to 26 feet long and weigh over 1,300 pounds. It has 6 gill slits instead of the usual 5 that most sharks have, hence the name. And it lives deep, really deep, typically between 3,000 and 6,500 feet down, though they've been found as deep as 8,200 feet. These sharks are prehistoric relics. Their body structure, behavior, and hunting methods have remained virtually unchanged for millions of years. They're slow-moving but incredibly powerful, with massive jaws capable of crushing bone. What makes this footage groundbreaking is that, until this mission, the only way to tag a sixgill shark was to bring it to the surface, which is extremely stressful and potentially fatal for the animal. This was the first time scientists managed to tag one in its natural habitat using a submarine. Dr. Dean Grubbs, the lead scientist from Florida State University's Marine Lab, had been studying these sharks for years. But this moment represented a massive leap forward in deep-sea research. Watching the submarine approach this massive, ancient predator in the darkness is both beautiful and terrifying. The shark moves with a kind of prehistoric grace, completely unbothered by the submarine's presence, a living fossil from the age of dinosaurs. At number 2, the Bigfin Squid. If you've ever seen the tripod aliens from War of the Worlds, this creature will feel uncomfortably familiar. The Bigfin Squid, also called the Magnapinnus squid, is one of the strangest looking animals ever captured on camera. This footage was recorded by the Schmidt Ocean Institute in the Central Pacific Ocean in 2019 at a depth of 3,582 feet, and it's genuinely unsettling. The Bigfin Squid has arms and tentacles that are absurdly long compared to its body, sometimes stretching 13 to 26 feet, many times longer than its actual body length. Its limbs hang down like thin threads, almost invisible against the darkness. But it's not just the length that's disturbing, it's the way it moves. Unlike other squids that dart through the water with speed and agility, the Bigfin Squid just floats. It hovers in place with its impossibly long arms stretched out below it, moving slowly, almost like it's gliding or walking on stilts through the water. Scientists believe it uses its long arms to catch prey drifting past, but we're not entirely sure. These creatures live so deep, far beyond the range of most submarines, that studying them is nearly impossible. Most of what we know comes from brief encounters like this one. Every time a bigfin squid is caught on camera, it looks slightly different, suggesting there might be multiple species we haven't properly identified yet. Their appearance is so alien, so unlike anything else in the ocean, that seeing one genuinely feels like encountering an extraterrestrial. And here's the creepy part. We've only seen them a handful of times. There could be thousands of these things drifting through the deep ocean right now, and we'd have no idea. They live in a part of the ocean we rarely explore. The bigfin squid is proof that the deep sea is still full of creatures that defy our understanding of biology. And finally, our #1 most terrifying creature, the Dana octopus squid. And now, for our #1 spot, we have a creature that didn't just appear on camera, it attacked the camera. This incredible footage shows a submarine at a depth of around 4,200 feet when something suddenly latches onto it. The camera shakes, the lights flicker, and then we see it. A massive squid with glowing photophores at the tips of its arms, flashing like strobe lights. This is the Dana octopus squid, also known as the Taningia danae or flasher squid, and it's one of the most aggressive deep-sea predators ever documented. The Dana octopus squid can grow up to 7.5 feet long, making it one of the largest squids in the world. But size isn't what makes it terrifying. It's those photophores, the glowing organs on its arms. Most bioluminescent creatures use light to attract prey or confuse predators. The Dana octopus squid uses its lights as weapons. When it attacks, it flashes its photophores rapidly, essentially blinding and disorienting its prey with bursts of intense light in the pitch-black depths. Imagine you're a fish swimming in total darkness. Suddenly, massive flashing lights explode in your face, blinding you. Before you can react, powerful tentacles wrap around your body and razor-sharp beaks tear into your flesh. That's what it's like to be hunted by a Dana octopus squid. In this footage, the squid mistakes the submarine for prey and attempts to grab it. You can see its arms wrapping around the vehicle, the photophores flashing wildly, trying to disorient what it thinks is food. This is one of the largest known bioluminescent creatures on Earth, and witnessing it attack something is both thrilling and deeply unsettling. The aggression, the intelligence, the sheer alien nature of its hunting strategy. It's like watching something from science fiction. The submarine eventually breaks free, and the squid disappears back into the darkness. But for those few seconds, researchers witnessed one of the ocean's most elusive predators in full attack mode. The Dana octopus squid takes the #1 spot because it represents everything terrifying about the deep sea: intelligence, aggression, bioluminescence used as a weapon, and a hunting strategy so alien it seems impossible. 7 creatures caught on submarine cameras. 7 nightmares from the abyss. From colonial organisms that look like living nets, to ancient sharks older than countries, to squids that flash lights like weapons and attack anything that moves. These aren't CGI. These aren't movie monsters. These are real animals, captured on real cameras, living in the real ocean right now. And these are just the ones we've managed to film. Remember, we've explored less than 5% of the ocean. That means 95% remains unseen, unmapped, and filled with creatures we can't even imagine. Every submarine dive brings back footage of something new, something strange, something that challenges our understanding of what's possible. The Siphonophore showed us that life can organize in ways we never expected. The sperm whale taught us that titanic battles happen in darkness. The Greenland Shark proved that animals can outlive empires. The USO reminded us that mysteries still exist. The Sixgill Shark demonstrated that dinosaurs' contemporaries still swim. The Bigfin Squid revealed that aliens might already be here. And the Dana octopus squid proved that the deep sea produces predators more terrifying than anything Hollywood could create. So the next time you look at the ocean, remember, you're not looking at water. You're looking at the roof of an alien world. A world filled with creatures that evolved in crushing pressure, freezing temperatures, and total darkness. Creatures with abilities, strategies, and appearances that seem impossible. And somewhere, right now, a submarine is descending into the abyss. Cameras rolling, about to encounter something we've never seen before. Sleep well tonight, and be glad you're not in a submarine.